Rupert Murdoch has announced that he's stepping down as chairman of Fox Corporation and News Corporation. Of course, he has a horrific legacy building an empire, a media empire that has caused hard to even fathom amounts of harm. And we'll talk about that some in this segment. Then we'll get to Elizabeth Warren responding in the perfect fashion to this news. First, here from CNN. Rupert Murdoch's reign over the insidious right-wing media kingdom he forged into existence over a decades-long career is coming to a close. The 92-year-old right-wing media mogul who announced Thursday that he will step down as chairman of Fox Corporation and News Corporation will leave behind a stain that cannot be erased and will far outlive the time he spent on the throne of his global media empire. A correct way to word that. Before getting to Elizabeth Warren, CNN put together a little bit of a montage of moments to reflect on the history of Fox News.
A hoax. We keep marrying other species and other ethnics and other...
Are you sure you're not suffering from some of the, the causes
Swedes,
of dementia right
see,
now?
the problem is the Swedes have pure genes because they marry other Swedes, because that's the rule. Finns marry other Finns, so they have a pure society. In America, we marry everybody.
Asian people are not liberal, by nature. They're usually more industrious and hardworking.
You're a Muslim, so why did you write a book about the founder of Christianity?
Well, say you're a cocaine dealer, and you kind of look like one a little bit.
For all you kids watching at home, Santa just is white, but this person is just arguing that maybe we should also have a black Santa. But, Santa is what he is.
Precisely is diversity our strength?
Well, I have something in common with Obama, and I don't even know what the big deal is. He's a African anyway.
A fist bump, a pound, a terrorist fist jab.
You grew up on tacos, correct?
Sorry, let me pause for a second. We won't watch a bunch of this, don't worry. But a terrorist fist pound, is that what she called it? You're probably thinking, what is she referring to if you missed that manufacturer controversy? Barack Obama and Michelle Obama fist bumped. That's it. That's it. And it's a terrorist fist pound. This is a channel, a network you can go click on your list of channels with a title, and half of the title is news. That's disturbing.
She did not.
No, I did not.
She's Colombian.
I didn't know.
Nicaraguan.
Okay.
Catholics write letters and Muslims stab you with letter openers.
Not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslims.
Many Americans, including this one, believe Barack Obama's emotional attachment to the Muslim world has hurt the USA.
This guy should go back to burning the taxpayer-funded incense to whatever pagan foreign deity he's worshiping. Because
okay, you get the point. I don't want to poison your mind by playing too much of that. Vile, horrific, people, in a way that I don't see with any other media, just plug in their brain and just watch for hours and hours and hours, always. Everyone has a story of someone in their family who sits nonstop and watches Fox News, and it's just always blaring in the living room. And to think that that is the perception of the world that's being delivered to them, then you understand when I go to Trump rallies or I did Mochas with MAGA, you understand why it's a possibility to believe the things that many of the individuals who watch Fox News and other networks believe. If that is all you're seeing the world through, if the lens that you see the world through is Fox News, then it could look a lot different than it actually looks. And that's really unfortunate. But here was Elizabeth Warren's response to this news.
It seems that what Tuberville is doing, what others are doing, does seem in many instances to entertain essentially to entertain the viewers of one network, Fox, and other right-wing media. It doesn't seem that there's a governing purpose beyond that. Oftentimes, you have called Fox a dangerous, factory of lies, and been very blunt in your assessment of the damage that they've done to our democracy. Do you have a comment on the fact that Rupert Murdoch at 92 is now stepping down and is becoming an emeritus and no longer will be running that company?
Rupert Murdoch built a hate-for-profit machine, and that machine has undermined our democracy and done incalculable damage to this nation. I'm glad he's leaving, but I wish he'd never come.
Yes, exactly. That's a great way to put it. And I do think we have to make sure that we never allow, similar to how I just talked about with the kind of both sidesing of extremism, and how you just got to make sure you put that within the proper context and not allow for those incorrect framings of American politics. It applies here too. There are such massive, gargantuous, ginormous issues with all forms of media, whether it be shows like mine that I do or other cable news shows or whatever. And that is fair to call out. We should talk about how we should push the media to be better. But I've seen some people pretending like CNN or MSNBC is the equivalent of Fox News. And that, I think, is so wrong. It borders on just, it has to be dishonest for you to have that analysis. There is bias 100%. There are lies that are told on all sorts of networks. There is a misdelivery of facts and corporate interests that sway coverage and all these things. Absolutely. And they matter. Nothing compares to the right-wing ecosystem that Rupert Murdoch created through Fox News and the other media outlets and papers and all that's associated with him. Nothing equivalent to the just fear factory, the lie factory, constantly pumped out. And he found out that, especially among a lot of people, fear and hatred could be weaponized for profit in a way that, of course, fear plays a role in so many different aspects of social media, coverage of events and what makes certain things popular, and other networks. But the magnitude on Fox News, and now that other right-wing networks try to model, is like nothing we've ever seen. And so it's good that he's leaving, but as Elizabeth Warren said, he should have never initially started all of this. And let's be honest, it's not like it's going to swing in a really normal, reasonable direction, because this is now the industry he has created, and other forces as well. But staying on him, he's created a model that if you don't follow it, you can't be successful. You just can't within right-wing media. And so now we see a bunch of replicas of Fox News. And that is so devastating for the way that we see our fellow Americans. And again, there's guilt on other media parts of the spectrum for sure, but nothing like Fox News and these other networks now. The way people see their fellow Americans, the lies that are being fed, the rejection of basic facts, the acceptance of wild conspiracy theories, and then the damage to our democracy. And that's really chilling and unfortunate to think about as we watch kind of the end of the Rupert Murdoch at Fox and a News Corporation story. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show and get a bonus show on the weekends, you can do so by going to lukebeasleyshow.com/membership. That's lukebeasleyshow.com/membership, and there's a link in the description.